100 Ways to Defeat Satan. The world is enough to drive you crazy, but you don't have to go. You can win. You can win everything you need to win. Defeat is unnecessary because higher guidance is possible. Your reading will result in 2 main revelations. 1. Methods for understanding everything about evil. 2. Methods for defeating Satan and finding true life. Your supreme advantage over evil spirits and horrible humans is your knowledge about them. Man is like a forged painting on a museum wall, which thousands of viewers believe is real. But you will be a skilled detective whose perception reveals it as false. Perception is power. Your knowledge about evil leads you into right action for defeating it. You will use powerful exercises for banishing all that is threatening and harmful. These spiritual exercises are as interesting as a parade and as practical as bread. As you proceed, remember that one part of you will enthusiastically love these higher guides, but another part will not fully understand them at first. No problem. Just relax and continue to march forward. An idea may play around the edges of your mind for a while, but will finally enter to become a guiding light. Everyone goes through this preliminary stage of the journey and exits with smiles. Here is a rule that becomes a valued prize for all who follow earnestly. See through others by first seeing through yourself. So be pleased when self-study reveals you to be different than you believed. This is exactly what lifts you to higher levels each day. So study yourself boldly. Just be more curious than you are timid. That will do it. Truth is for human beings because it is against the hostile forces that occupy them. So anytime you feel that these teachings are too harsh, remember that they are not harsh toward you, but against the very worries that you want to dismiss. This is the perfect partnership, truth and you, working together for all that is good. To defeat evil, you must see something that few do. See that nothing is more useful than to devote yourself to the power higher than you. Want a noble nature more than you want sex, and sex cannot bother you. Want contentment more than excitement, and nervousness is impossible. Loneliness, weakness, and all else fall before the invited higher power. All this happens because God is all and evil is nothing. Every week, a young man asked his father to advise him on his griefs with girls, money, and all else. His father finally said, "Look, son, why don't you ask for advice before getting into trouble?" Good advice for anyone, any age. Your mind can operate in one of 2 ways. 1, as a tyrant that cruelly drives you through your day. 2, as a receiver of higher impressions. Take a close look. How do you classify your mind? Is it driven or does it flow? If you don't like the punishment of tyranny along the way, you don't have to continue along that way. There is a new route with attractive scenery and a delightful final destination. For example, you may now believe you are worried over another person's opinion of you. That is not the problem at all. What bothers you is what you think about what he thinks. So the tyrant is your own unnecessary self-concern, for what he thinks about you has absolutely no relationship to your personal happiness. This kind of realization can expel all mental tyrants. Higher impressions are spiritual truths and facts that wish to come down and help you. Knowing what you really need, their supply is ready and generous. For instance, they know what human beings are really like and want to tell you. These higher truths warn you against people who claim they have something good for you. The truth is, these deceivers really want to twist your life for their own profit and pleasure. They don't reveal their selfish motives, but truth does. Each time you listen to these higher impressions, your day becomes easier. Realise that the higher understands the lower. You can be like a forest ranger on a mountain peak who looks down and knows just what to do to put out a fire. The fire will go out. Like to have all your problems solved for you? Like to live above the terrors of this world? Like to have something to do that is always fun? Like to be sure of yourself always? Like to have a treasure that will last forever? Like to go through your day without feeling threatened by anything? Like to discover a way to live casually and pleasantly? If so, here is all you have to do. Have affection for truth. Inspiring answers. What do I fear most of all? You fear the loss of your present existence, your imaginary existence made up of all your past thoughts and experiences. But believing it is real, you fear its loss. God cannot be the author of this anxiety, so Satan is. Lose mental existence and win spiritual existence. How do these studies put us at ease in home life and business affairs? When an evil force is banished inwardly, it loses all power outwardly. When there is nothing anxious inside, there is nothing distressful outside. Why do we stumble from one meaningless relationship or activity to the next? Different is not new, but everyone wants to think so. What would happen if I attended a lecture by a true teacher? You would realise that for the first time in your life you heard a speaker who did not lie to you. You must then decide between the offered truth and your old ways. How does insight conquer fear? Keep people at a distance, not because you fear they are vicious, but because you know they are. What is the explanation of human devils who seem fond of each other? The reason they like each other is because they are like each other. Evil loves evil. Society is a gang of friendly phonies who finally attack each other. Is it simply self-deception when I think that I or anyone else makes intelligent decisions? What is called making an intelligent decision is nothing but yielding to the course which gives maximum personal reward. There is no intelligence or goodness or courage involved, only concealed self-interest. How do you explain the brutal ambition of some people for power and tyranny in society? If you want to be a leader at the zoo, you must first be one of the animals. May I hear something helpful that I don't want to hear? The average human being is nothing but a small child who can't take care of himself. When hurt, he cries. When promised a lollipop, he beams with pleasure. These are the people who are running things. How can I be freely natural? Ask yourself if pain is good or bad. You will then lie and say it is bad, for you always answer the way that sounds sincere. But your pain nature thinks it is good, for it loves itself and wants to keep you in its pain. Let your true nature see that pain is bad. Devils seem to have a certain kind of evil glee, but what is it? They put their faith in the incompetence of human society to solve its problems and are never disappointed. Human devils thrive on human disorder. What is the difference between stupidity and intelligence? Stupidity wants to glorify itself, while intelligence wants more of itself. Why do I always have enemies? Because you get a false and destructive pleasure in having enemies. You want them. If you don't believe it, just try giving up an enemy. Go ahead, right now. Try to stop seeing him as an enemy. See, you still have the enemy you want. What causes anger? Anger erupts when personal phoniness is exposed. The captured crook always hates the policeman. How can I recognise a false teacher when I see one? Watch him like a hawk. Notice his concealed nervousness, his pretense of confidence, his suppressed anger. Nothing is easier to see, providing you really want to see him in all his hideous hypocrisy. How can people be so wicked and yet appear so happy? Because evil is their entertainment. In fact, doing sick things is a human's single most popular amusement. Your refusal to admit this puts you in danger from humans. What is panic? A false solution. It is like trying to unlock a door with a hammer. You do the wrong thing simply because you don't know the right thing. Patient study reveals the right. How can I understand true freedom? See what it is not. Psychopaths scream that they are free. What should I do when I don't know what to do about family strife, financial problems, about all else? You don't have to do anything unless directed to do so by the Spirit of truth. Satan lies and tells you that the intellect can know what to do. You cannot think of what to do, but through the Spirit of truth you can know. This defeats Satan and anxiety. No doubt I am stupid towards Satan and the human sickness he causes, but what can be done? See that stupidity is not the problem. The refusal of intelligence about life is the problem. Look how you fight learning. Relax and receive. I suspect that the world is more evil than I see, but how do I attain full realization? What you cannot now see with your mental eyes, you will one day see through spiritual vision. Spiritual eyes can see evil as clearly as your usual eyes now see a house. Number 1, secret command. A story was written about an army general who knew every move the enemy army was making. He was in command of the enemy because he had obtained their secret orders. You are now obtaining the plans that will place you in charge of everything that tries to hurt you. It can be called super wisdom. One way to acquire super wisdom is to try to see higher than your present wants. What you now want is not all there is. Satan unmasked. Satan is A. Any thought, feeling or action performed unconsciously. B. Ignorance of God and spiritual truths. C. Hatred of all that is truly good and decent and healthy. D. The same as being insane, psychopathic, paranoid, egotistical. E. Anything harmful to anyone, such as cruelty, slander, deception. F. Lying by calling evil good and good evil. All these inner states express themselves outwardly in crime, violence, misery. You need not be a part of it. 3. Satanic possession. The devil enters, possesses and operates through human beings. He is an invisible force that commands human minds and bodies. His survival depends upon keeping his slaves ignorant of this fact. For example, a devil-possessed man will hatefully deny his fiendish condition, which is the very devil's lying denial. Satan anxiously fears being expelled from an awakening human being, for Satan's victim has been his home. 4. Your castle. Remember that working for yourself is exactly the same as working against Satan. The powers that build your inner strength also demolish your inner weakness. So have no fear if you feel a sense of loss as you work inwardly. You are losing what has caused you to lose. The more you lose, the more you win. You lose the haunted house in order to build a shining castle in its place. This is an exciting secret for changing your inner residence. Move today. 5. Empty lives. If you could see the awful emptiness of human lives, you would be shocked speechless. But you must not hesitate to see it, for here is your chance to flee what you see, to finally find self-wholeness. The average man's idea of happiness is to sit around and look important with the least amount of effort. What others may choose, you must refuse. Society is incurably insane. Choose personal spiritual sanity. Sanity is charming. 6. Sex world. The sex centre is highly emotional, therefore a major target for hostile spirits. Their aim is to torment the victim with guilt and frustration. They do this by urging a man to merely think about sex, to indulge in sex fantasies in which he shares the bed of every pretty girl in town. His solution is to substitute learning for yearning. He must voluntarily lose confidence in his fantasy world of sex. He then enters a new world of natural command over sex. 7. Used people. See a demon as a user of human beings. Watch an angry man. Notice how an invisible force uses and agitates his physical parts. His vocal cords send out snarling threats. His mouth twists weirdly. His eyes flash fire. And his arms and body jerk violently. You are seeing demon possession in action. The angry man has been taken over. He is used, controlled, tyrannized. Still believe that people are self-controlled? Don't. 8. Inner exercise. You must build your spiritual memory, which is awareness in action. Use this exercise to succeed. You now hold this publication at a certain page. Now, each time you turn a page, be aware of yourself doing it. Instead of unseen mechanical action, know that your hand reaches to the page top. Be conscious that the page turns. And notice how easily you forget. Your awareness of your unawareness is pure gold. Collect all you can. 9. Save energy. Picture a power line running to your pleasant cabin in the woods. But all along the way, some thieves have tapped into the line, stealing electricity. Power intended only for your personal use has been drained off for illegal purposes. The devil is an energy thief. He steals natural power by making people unhappy. Unhappiness is a dreadful drain of constructive energy. Ever see it like that? See it like that. It saves you. 10. Stage act. Don't feel sorry for weak people. Their pathetic appearance is a cunning stage performance. Don't be deceived. A weak and pathetic man is a dangerous man. Inwardly he boils with rage. He will destroy you if he can. A habitually drooping man has an equal chance to climb up to inner strength, but he refuses it in favour of deceitful dependency. If you think you should feel compassion for the weak, remember this. The weak seek out the strong, not to learn, but to steal. 11. End punishment. A man is punished by one thing only, his own low level of life understanding. This means he is punished by the devil, all right, but the devil is simply his own ignorance. His choice of stupidity is the same as his preference for mental hell. To escape, he must stop seeing his hell as heaven. Do you know someone who loves hatred and revenge? That is his idea of heaven. His life can be described as an orgy of madness. 12. Road signs. A sure way to defeat Satan is to recognize the consistency of truth. Truth cannot lie, never falters, is always the same bright light. Notice its constant instructions to see hatred as self-destructive, to seek riches higher than the intellect. But falsehood is inconsistent, treacherous, and finally abandons you to your screams. Consistent truths are like road signs posted all the way through an unknown valley. You don't have to anxiously think, just follow. 13. Mental pictures. A man does not live from himself, but from mental pictures about himself. He pictures himself as wise, loving, strong, and of course as always right. But it is these very imaginations that keep him stupid, hateful, weak, wrong. They separate him from the true virtues of reality. Angry spirits operate through these fantasies. Few people ever realise that self-pictures rule and ruin their lives. Realise it. Your health will grow. 14. Inner peace. Detach your inner world from the outer world. Your eyes see someone with whom you quarrelled? Let your eyes alone be active. Let your mind remain quiet. Your ears hear that someone slandered you? Let your ears only be active. Let your spirit be still. Your inner reality does not believe in outer appearances. Nothing forces you to admit a wolf into your home. You can stop trouble from entering any time you remember this. Remember this all day long. 15. Clear message. Mixing with people is mixing with their troubles. They will promptly try to make their misery your misery. They will lie and deny this evil, of course, for they refuse to see how low they are. A man with a brutal manner or a woman with a hateful face are trying to drag you into their sick world. Your new spirit of truth will send them an invisible message that speaks louder than a million words. Stay out of my life. 16. A description. It is easy to describe anyone under the power of darkness. Nothing exists for him except the grabbing of worldly rewards. He especially hates anyone who exposes his actual childishness. One of his insanities is to think he can do wrong and feel right. He calls his disgrace innocence. His idea of heaven is to be surrounded by bright lights that reflect his own image. He fears to notice how much he is despised. He has the conscience of a shark. 17. True love. No one cares for anyone. All is vanity. The evil that rules people cares for nothing but its own ruinous ways. The idea of people loving each other is a lie from sick human minds. A hypocrite hates this truth, for in his egotism he wants to see himself as loving. He can then demand rewards for himself. True love is from God. It comes to whoever finally sees that a self-picture of being loving is unloving. Love is above human thought. 18. Stop Satan. Fear attracts whatever is feared. Why? Because fear is ignorance, like a dazed man so fearful of falling into a swamp that he dizzily does so. Fear prophesies tragedy, then leads the terrified person towards its fulfillment. Spiritual wisdom dissolves time, which prevents the prophesied event from happening, which is the same as stopping the devil right now. You cannot fear anything you understand. You can understand and stop painful prophecies. Vigorously do so. 19. The swamp. Fake religious teachers and false religious followers love each other. Satan loves both. Teachers and followers have a lot in common, like vultures and buzzards. Each silently demands and gets soothing lies from the other, after which they all smilingly wander together down to the swamp. A sign of a truly unfolding spiritual life is to see through this devilish conspiracy. You cannot deceive a true teacher. Be grateful for that. 20. Spiritual path. To discover the spiritual path, you must drop all religious beliefs that say you are already on it. Spirituality and religion are as different as water and sand. God's light expresses spirituality, while man's darkness invents religion. The spiritual path cuts straight through the jungle of sick human nature. Avoidance of the path is avoidance of the supreme reason for being on earth. Whoever bravely follows the spiritual path to the very end will be saved. Bravely start. 21. Pay attention. Hostile spirits like to cause grief by dividing and confusing your attention. Split attention is a major cause of accidents and inefficiency. When driving your car or handling tools, give full attention to the task. Stay aware of your consecutive movements. This means to know what you are doing at the moment that you are doing it, to remain with each action as it happens. Don't get ahead or in back of yourself. Results are rich. 22. Stop anxiety. The devil uses anxiety like a soldier uses bullets, to wound and destroy. Anxiety is simply the result of a counterfeit life. Any life outside the spiritual world is counterfeit. There is no such thing as being spiritual and being anxious. There is definitely such a thing as being a fake and being anxious. The solution? No fakery, no fear. In this true state, all anxious explanations are over. Happiness is to not have to explain yourself to yourself. This is a great relief. 23. Haunted house. A movie hero was promised a rich inheritance for staying overnight in a haunted house. He fearfully endured the floating ghosts and flapping bats and sinister sounds. At dawn, he received his inheritance. He then discovered that it was all a test, with mechanical monsters to make sure he was a brave hero worthy of riches. Likewise, you will receive inner riches by enduring your own haunted house until dawn. 24. Active Satan. The devil does everything possible to prevent your discovery of a hideous fact about him. Desperately, he conceals the truth that he works through and among human beings. He wants you to think of him as dwelling in a remote hell, far removed from daily human activities. Don't believe it. Devils run governments, preach sermons, direct corporations, counsel neurotics, practice law, command armies, control education, establish charities, promote entertainment. Observe all this. 25. New mind. Maybe no one ever told you about this problem you have. You don't want to be where you are, doing what you're doing, mixing with people you really don't want around you. The only reason you are in this sad state is because you have not yet learned that an unwanted life is unnecessary. And this is because you insist upon taking orders from your present mind. You need a new mind. You can have it by letting yourself go. Let go. 26. Social maniacs. A suppressed and desperate cry surges through humanity. People shriek, "How can I make sense of human events?" You can't. The actions of lunatics in an insane asylum never make sense. Society is a madhouse occupied by frenzied maniacs who think they are sane. Sigh with relief. You don't have to try and figure it out anymore. You can see through sick society, which means you are not part of it, which means you are sane. And now your life makes perfect sense. 27. The healing. Want to know why a man feels empty and frustrated? He tells himself he can do something but finds he can't. He says he can find fun in travel but ends up bored and lonely. He informs himself that one day he will be loved and desired, but passing years deny his claim. All this comes as a furious blow to his vanity. Vanity can't do anything but hurt. For healing, He must stop talking to himself like that. This he can do. 28. The lies. Satan advised some human beings who served him, when anything threatens your self-interest, protect yourself with lies. No matter how many people hurt you, lie viciously. If accused of lying, scream back that your accuser is the liar. If disturbed by your own deceit, justify your lies by shouting that everyone does it. Remember that religious lies serve sickness best of all. Leaning over to his assistant, Satan whispered, "Now those stupid humans are destroyed." 29. Strong talk. To see through wicked people, it is needful to use strongly honest language. Don't think, people are basically good but are sometimes faulty. That is a self-serving evasion of the hard facts you don't want to see in yourself. See people with all the fierce savagery beneath their faked politeness, but do it scientifically, not self-righteously. This is the only way to shock yourself awake from life's nightmare. It is nice to wake up. 30. Passing parade. Stand on any busy corner. Select and look at any passing man. You will see a devil-possessed human being. Select any woman. Same thing. Both would laugh if told this, but it would be a nervous scorn. Human life is a passing parade of pathetic paranoids. Nothing is different about them, and nothing is worthwhile to them. They want to feel owned, and Satan obliges. Now they are victims. Now they want to make you one. Don't join the parade. 31. Close look. Remember that a study of devil nature is the same as a look at human nature. This means that a skilled student will not be bluffed by fakers. Behind the stern stare of a high authority is a mental defective. Behind the glowing smile is a woman who despises you. Behind strong leadership is a man who cries for his mama. Behind the considerate businessman is an insolent bum. Behind everyone else is a disgrace to the human race. 32. Satanic signs. Ordinary thinking cannot recognize the devil when he appears. A man's usual mind is so loaded with weird self-interest, he always takes demons for angels, as with smiling hypocrites. But you can learn to see signs of Satan, which were in front of you all the time. Aim to see evil as evil. See hateful glares as devilish. See insolence as insanity. See greed as depraved desire. See brutality as animalistic. See self-pity as self-sickness. Your right sight is your safety. 33. The facts. Some people are suspicious about praising and honouring people. Here are the facts. You praise a man for his strength and wisdom with the hope that your words will somehow magically change into his virtues, thus guaranteeing your own protection by him. This folly sponsors terrifying weakness and dependence upon delusion. It is also how Satan uses self-deceit to keep people shuffling through life with vacant eyes. 34. True teacher. Once in a while, a true teacher enters the world, a rare individual who has risen to the spiritual heights. He knows all about the devil, including the fact that Satan is nothing but a bundle of furious fakery. Nothing in life is hidden from a true teacher, including the method by which you can save yourself. Having safely passed through the inner jungle himself, he can show you how to do the same. Want the same? You will find a true teacher. He will welcome you. 35. See life. To win real riches, ask yourself constantly, am I thinking or am I seeing? They are completely different. Thinking consists of nervous ideas, while seeing consists of calm consciousness. Careless people mistake thinking for seeing, which keeps them hurting. Look at your mind. Do you see self-doubt, a nagging need to prove yourself right? That is useless thinking. Now you can learn to pleasantly see your way through life. 36. The slaves. Some demons were cruelly tyrannizing dozens of human slaves who were miserably working in a hot desert. An amazed apprentice demon asked the chief demon, "But how do you keep them so contented?" The chief shrugged. "Easy. We just let them get used to slavery. Once it becomes familiar, they ask no questions." Asked the apprentice, "But don't they fight to get out?" The chief laughed. "Don't be absurd. They fight anyone who tries to help them get out." 37. The curse. Nothing is more stupid than self-trickery. It is a severely punishing curse. Millions foolishly believe they think for themselves. Few do. To think for yourself is to live for yourself, not for your fond fights. Do you fight a lot, including internal battles? Yes or no? If yes, you don't think for yourself, but for everything that wrecks your life. But what self-trickery started, self-wisdom can end. How nice to have this healing medicine. 38. Your pleasure. Ever notice something about your human relationships? Those you want to come into your life are those who stay out, while those you wish to stay out are those who come in. Maddening? Anyone caught in this is at the mercy of their wishes, while he wants them to be at the mercy of his wishes. Conflict vanishes as you live from yourself, not from a false belief that others can reward you. Now, your pleasure is to let others come or go at their pleasure. 39. The switch. Satan is always in a losing position. Your growing awareness will reveal this inspiring fact to you. Satan is like a television set gone crazy, in which scary scenes and sick sounds flash violently back and forth. All you need to do is turn off the switch. Just as a television set depends upon outside electricity, Satan depends upon your unconscious cooperation. Withdraw your consent to being scared. Ask truth to turn off the switch. It will. 40. Human stupidity. Satan and stupidity must be studied together, for evil and ignorance relate closely. Badness is madness. Stupidity is the absence of spiritual wisdom. A man can run his business adequately and still be spiritually stupid. A stupid person does not see himself as stupid, which makes him a typically horrible human being. His mind is stuffed with useless clippings from yesterday's news, which he proudly calls his library. Intelligence starts with awareness of personal stupidity. 41. False fear. People ask, how can I stop fearing the devil? The answer is both startling and liberating. Your own fear thoughts create a mental picture of the devil which you then believe. You believe the devil into existence, a false existence. He has no power outside your own mistaken mind. You simply fear the word devil and all its fearful associative thoughts. Believe no more. The devil will be no more. Fear will be no more. 42. Be happy. It is useless to think about what will make you happy. If you think you know a source of sunshine, you will try to find it in other people, in ownership, in effort and time. But these areas have never made anyone happy. You are happy when you don't think about happiness, for true peace cannot come from a strained mind. Anxious desire builds an illusory castle which collapses with the first frustration. Above all ideas about happiness is happiness. Prove this for yourself. 43. Avoid trouble. Avoid people who A. approach you with sad eyes. B. display emotional love. C. vow to behave better. D. mention their past good deeds. E. know what you need. F. stand up for their rights. G. try to involve you. H. feel persecuted. I. want to show you something. J. have had bad breaks. K. tell you to trust them. L. are excited over great plans. M. feel hurt at your refusal. N. stare but don't see. O. work hard to convince you. 44. Useless guilt. People easily fall under guilt when accused. Sly Satan sees to that. But it is human carelessness that allows this enemy emotion. Strangely, a man wants to feel guilty. Why? Because it supports his strong but wrong belief of being the centre of the world. With fiery feelings, he assures himself, I may be guilty and bad, but at least I'm someone. But that does not make him someone, for an emotion does not create an identity. Do not mistake heat for light. 45. Sunny land. Human life is hell on earth because everyone senses the emptiness of earthly riches and fame, but does not know the alternative. It is like a young boy living in a dark jungle who catches a single glimpse of a sunny land across a wide river. As he grows up, he works and plays in the jungle, but his heart is not in it. He yearns to cross the river. So do you. You can. Guided by the spirit of truth, you can reach the sunny land. 46. Yearning eyes. The devil delights in forcing people to look around for approval. His yearning eyes plead, please say you like me. Millions deny they are under this hypnotic spell. They are the very ones Satan tricks most easily. Total solution. Stop seeking approval for who you are not. You are not someone who needs approval. Ponder this deeply. 47. Feel good. Man stumbles through life simply because he fails to notice the difference between fantasy and fact. One difference is that fantasy hurts and fact feels good. Practice this healing exercise by asking yourself every day, how come my rightness feels so wrong? Your aim is to expose and dismiss false rightness, which always feels wrong. Pretense of trueness is painful. You can learn from what is true, or you can burn from what is you. 48. Eternal life. One day, a demon saw a man lose some money in his business. The demon urged him, go ahead, feel depressed, it's only natural. But the man ignored the demon. The next day, the demon saw the man get crowded off the road by a reckless driver. The demon whispered, blow up in anger, it's your right. But the man remained calm. The demon did not know that the man wanted eternal life more than he wanted temporary egotistical feelings. Be like him. 49. Vital point. A chief trait of a human devil is his unawareness that he is one. You can pile his evil deeds a mile high in front of him and he still won't see them. Beware, he is a man without a soul. But like all devils, he is so incredibly stupid that any sincere person can see what he is. Just see the insanity he refuses to see. For example, he is compelled to hatefully accuse others of evil, so that by contrast he appears innocent. See through him. 50. False teacher. It is easy to expose a false religious teacher who is controlled by compulsive evil. Just let someone tell him that he is a religious hypocrite and watch his reaction. In one way or another, he will react with nervous hostility. Think carefully. Would a true teacher get upset if told he was false? Not at all. He knows who he is. But a false teacher falls into anger because he knows that his identity as a religious teacher is a fake. He fears and hates getting exposed. 51. Home safe. A young prince foolishly left the safety of his father's castle to roam recklessly and dangerously around. He finally wanted to go home, but shame stood in his way. His father sent him a message which could not be understood clearly at first because of blurred ink, but the prince finally read, "Just come home." Likewise, one day you will fully understand and accept truth's invitation. The reckless roaming is no more. You are home safe. 52. Catch pretenders. You are hurt by what you don't know about human nature. Use this exercise for correction. Wherever you go, study human ways to notice sly stunts and hidden motives. Concentrate on catching pretenses. Everyone has his specialities. As you watch people in public, inform yourself, he's pretending to be innocent, or she is pretending to be loving. To expose and defeat human pretense is the same as defeating Satan. Double his defeats. 53. New life. You can actually become a new kind of human being. The great secret of success is to throw yourself upon your own resources 100 times. Nothing will happen. Throw yourself upon yourself 1,000 times. Nothing will change. Try it 5,000 times. Nothing will be different. Try it 5,001 times. Something will happen. You will start a new and rich life, far above both your own mind and the madness of human society. Start now. 54. Concealed danger. Treacherous Lucifer prevents millions from seeing this fact. Your own present ways make you a danger to yourself. By keeping people anxious toward external foes, such as false friends or financial stress, he blocks their sighting of the actual danger, their own wrong inner conditions. Can you see your weakness as your danger? Can you see your self-excusing as your barrier to self-command? If not, do so starting today. Self-danger will fade. 55. Devil's disciple. Satan loves and encourages imaginary victories. They serve his purpose perfectly. A man who chooses fantasy over fact can hide out in his dark little room of delusions and let fantasy roam wherever it likes. Does he wish to be the great lover of every pretty girl he sees? Imagination creates the lover. Does he want to avoid unpleasant facts about himself? In mental scenes he is charming. Satan observes, smiles. Good student. 56. The arguer. There was once a man who was called the arguer. He argued over everything, just to give himself the false thrill of emotional electricity. Taken over by a violent spirit, he argued to convince himself, not others. His compulsive quarrelling tore him down and wore him out. One day he heard a short message that freed him from his tormenting need to fight. He heard, "Just don't argue. Nothing bad will happen to you." He saw it was true. What a revelation. 57. Victory now. Satan is already defeated. He trembles that you may see this. You need not fight Satan personally, but just realise that God has already won the battle. It is like a dazed soldier fighting wearily on in the jungle, not knowing that his nation won the war years ago. Defeat consists only of not realizing this astounding fact. You win this victory through understanding, by rising above time thinking to dwell in the spiritual now. 58. Religious hypocrites. Operating and degenerating within the satanic circle, a religious hypocrite is subhuman. His hideous purpose in life is to hatefully attack and destroy all that is truly godly and good. Quoting mechanically from religious books, he proudly asks others if they are as saved as his sick mind says he is. Self-tormented, he slyly torments and confuses those he pretends to help. You can't shame him, for he has no shame, only monstrous arrogance. 59. Conquer pain. An event or condition is harmless and neutral unless it is stopped by the intellect which operates in opposites. Two such opposites are, will that event help or hurt me? And can I or can't I win an ego victory in this argument? When stopped by either side, an event becomes either pleasurable pain or painful pain. To conquer mental pain, stand aside and let an event pass through the mind filled with opposites and go on to pure insight. 60. Use television. People dwell under the strange hypnosis of daily life. You can use television as a powerful exercise to break the spell and wake up. Notice how you become personally involved with an exciting movie or the evening news. You react with pleasure or pain at what you see. From now on, deliberately and constantly turn your head away from the screen and become aware of yourself as a viewer, not a participant. Detach yourself. Be separate. You are waking up. 61. Higher results. A thought or act is a cause that produces a result that is like the cause. If you dip a brush into red paint, the brush will turn red, even if you hope for green. On the negative side of this law, self-fascination results in a wasted life. On the positive side, a love for inner development results in enduring vitality. Evil produces evil, and good produces good. To enrich what happens to you, build a new you. It is a pleasant task. 62. The proof. Want proof that human beings are devils in disguise? Well, name a few traits of the devil. Concealed hatred, deceitful words, vicious attacks, false goodness, right? Right. Now name a few traits of human beings. Concealed hatred, deceitful words, vicious attacks, false goodness, right? Right. So a man is exactly the same as a devil. The servants of Satan despise this unmasking, but they can't escape its pure proof of the monsters that they really are. 63. Powerful plan. Use this simple but powerful weapon for defeating the devil. What Satan loves, you must unlove. The devil loves brooding depression and senseless schemes. Unlove these. Satan sends out hideous thoughts about hurting and conquering people. Unlove such ideas when they try to enter your mind. Simply love the opposite of what the devil loves. You will feel the opposite of anguish, which is peace and intelligence. 64. False problems. No problem is a problem to you. It is a problem to the two states involved in a desire. The first state is your desire for wealth. The second state is your thought about lack of wealth. So there is conflict and pain. But you are neither the desire for wealth nor the idea about lack of wealth. Your truly spiritual nature dwells far above all contradictory ideas. Let your pondering of this turn into realization. You will then see that all problems are false problems. 65. fiery factory. When dealing with a human devil, remember this. He cannot react toward you except with more deviltry. He can give you only what he is, evil. Outwardly he may appear pleasant and cooperative, but behind the sly smile his fiery mental factory is already manufacturing his next betrayal of you. Ignorance of this causes pain. Now you can either refuse this fact or let it rescue you. Wisely select rescue. 66. The few. Each day, hundreds of lost and fearful people lined up in front of a true teacher. The wise man could see through all of them at a glance. Each approached to ask, "Can you show me how to stop destroying myself?" For days at a time, the teacher answered only, "No, because you will not let me." But every once in a while, an inquirer heard, "Yes, because you will let me." The teacher saw that a few had the necessary sincerity to walk towards spiritual light. Be one of the few. 67. Halfway hell. Malicious spirits eagerly trap people in a halfway hell. The torment starts when one part of you wants to do something, but another part objects. You start an exciting drive to somewhere, but halfway there your mind changes and you yearn to stop. You battle between go and stop, with both sides equally insistent. You are caught between two lying promises of self-security. Spiritual wholeness will break the ache. Travel to wholeness. 69. Easy life. Like to toss off the burdens that paranoid people drop into your lap? Simple. Just be an inwardly right human being. You see, wrongness is a chain that connects you with the consequences of human evil, such as painful punishment and corrupt conditions. Personal trueness breaks the chain, changes you from an outer controlled person to inner controlled. Life is easy when you are not right, but right is right. Make it easy. 70. New clue. The average person is contemptuous toward anyone he cannot deceive or manipulate. Ignore this fact at your own peril. Let it be a new clue for your daily safety. Quietly observe a man who tries to exploit you. Watch how he gives himself away when you finally refuse him. Coming out into the open, he snarls at you like a cornered weasel. Think this is too strong against human beings? You have not even seen the start of human horror. Your sight is strength. 71. The reason. The reason people can hurt you is because they are more cruel than you think. The reason humans can deceive you is because they are more treacherous than you know. The reason men can corrupt you is because they are more devilish than you believe. The reason women can enslave you is because they are more oppressive than you see. Think from these facts, not from foolish beliefs. You will fly away free. 72. Human devil. Here are 3 ways to identify a devil in human form. A. He can charge like an insane bull to break and hurt people, but you must not criticize his behavior with one small word. B. It is his majestic privilege to grab whatever he wants when he wants it, but your wishes must await his royal permission. C. He has a perfect right to scream furiously when his demands are thwarted, but you have no right to ask him to behave with normal courtesy. Watch for these devils. 73. Perfect plan. Here is a plan that will stop distress when you don't know how to stop distress. 1. Notice clearly that you are in fact distressed. 2. Stop right there. By going beyond awareness, you wrongly refer the problem to your usual intellect. This intellect cannot solve the problem because it caused the distress in the first place. A raging storm cannot calm itself. Your noticing without thinking permits higher insight to understand for you. 74. Diabolic deceit. Here is the single most diabolical deception by which Satan enslaves humanity. Lying, he tells a man that he possesses an independent self apart from God. The foolish man is then convinced he is his name, his experiences, his pains, and his pleasures. Egotistical man believes the lie because his immature mind likes to cast him in the role of a hero operating on his own. This blocks his entrance into the one kingdom, which delights Satan. Don't delight Satan. 75. The zoo. How would you describe your mental activities? One man described his mind as a zoo gone mad with shrieking and clawing beasts. He was describing his sudden explosions of worry and frustration. A bored and unhappy person is always looking for an excuse to turn loose his mental zoo, just to give himself a few exciting minutes. Absolute horror. You must have none of this. Don't yield to excuses. Your mind was not meant to be a zoo. 76. Free speech. Do you have speech problems? Maybe you stutter or speak nervously. Perhaps you don't know what to say or fear talking before an audience. This simply indicates confusion in your inner system, which sends wrong instructions up to your speech centres. It is like a faulty traffic signal that makes the lights flash wrongly. The wisdom in these pages will correct all this. You will learn to speak clearly, wisely, with decision and finality. This is fine self-work. 77. End fear. Millions fear failure in self-rescue. This torment is just another satanic stunt to keep you out of the kingdom. Fear arises from man's false personality and is therefore false itself. Of course, the false self can't save itself. Non-existence can't do anything. So this agonizing fear is simply the needless agitation of ignorance and imagination. You save yourself by seeing there is no one here who needs to be saved. Let this become clear to you. 78. Instant help. The usual mind cannot win over Satan, for his dark forces occupy and command an undeveloped mind. But you can choose to yield your present mind to the Spirit of Truth, who will send immediate help. Go ahead and doubt your present mind all you want, for it is spiritually unreliable, having no power to fly upward. This is constructive doubt. So leave the usual mind on earth and learn to fly high. Finally, all doubts will disappear. 79. False worship. People believe they worship God. Pure delusion. They build their preferred kind of God out of their own anxious beliefs and greeds. Imagination supplies the God they want, one who permits them to hide their own violence from themselves. A man's egotism can't lose with this fantasy God who lovingly looks down to see him as persecuted and innocent. This self-worship is devil worship. It is also religious insanity. 80. The question. A dozen demons from hell conspired to attack a true teacher. One at a time, the demons attacked with blasphemous shrieks of contempt. They clawed with threats of destruction. Standing calmly, the teacher waited until each demon drooped with exhaustion from his own violence. The teacher then asked a demon, "Which one of us is suffering agonizing punishment from his own depravity, you or me?" Shocked and defeated, each demon slunk away, cursing. 81. Shockwaves. You reach God by deliberately passing through a series of spiritual shockwaves. These walloping waves occur when you refuse to dodge unpleasant facts about yourself. So just stand there and permit a collision between your beloved beliefs toward yourself and the frank facts about yourself. Devils posing as saints won't do this, for it would expose their hypocrisy. You do it. You won't suffer from hypocrisy. You will live in the light. 82. Fresh life. Have some practical fun. Write down all the strong points you think you possess. You might believe you welcome new truths, are decisive, know what you want, and so on. Now ponder each point carefully. Compare it with your daily ways. Feel nervous? Sense something wrong? Good. The more distress you see, the better. You are now aware of the nervousness in self-contradiction, which makes you want to stop it. This is how others won a fresh life. Win your own. 83. Disappearing devil. The devil vanishes to the same degree that personal egotism vanishes. They are the same. Egotism is repulsive. So is Satan. Egotism feels secret pleasure in hurting others. So does the devil. Egotism storms with rage when thwarted. So does an evil spirit. So whoever wants to end a life of anguish can do so by simply dropping useless egotism. Millions fearfully refuse to believe all this. You can see it and flourish. 84. The coward. Somewhere in this world there is a cowardly man. He hides his cowardice with bluffing behaviour. All he really wants is to grab and run. He is a deluded roamer trying to find health in his own sickness. Anyone who even comes close to exposing his cowardice is viciously slandered. He despises anything that is truly good and constructive. He associates only with others who are as cowardly as himself. You now have a description of the average human being. See it. 85. Pure fact. There exists the fact of what is right and what is wrong. But ego-serving human belief distorts the pure fact. Belief arises in a lost human being who stupidly prefers his belief to the fact. His chance for self-rescue from self-evil is to simply see that his personal belief about right and wrong is not the pure fact about right and wrong. To do this, he must see that his belief is ruining him. This fact is right in front of him. 86. Senseless scenes. Satan's skill in defeating you depends on the number of senseless scenes he can thrust into your mind. Your skill in defeating Satan depends on the number of senseless scenes you can ignore. Satan keeps a man under compulsive attention to the ridiculous. Expose this trick by making a list of your own fascinating follies as they appear. You might catch yourself dreaming about a giant cake, yourself as a clown, anything absurd. Ignore them. 87. Hurtful bats. Malicious spirits never change their nature. They only change their many methods of attack. They turn men and women into obnoxious complainers by repeatedly telling them how badly they have been treated. Knowing that the emotionalized thought can produce the actual condition, they subtly plant fears of ill health into a victim. When detecting a doubtful mind, they swoop down to torment like berserk bats. 88. Be glad. You have no need to become anyone at all. You have no need to become someone who is rich or famous or protected or loved. Just gladly realise that you are not required to go anywhere to acquire anything. You are not that frantic need. You are the absence of it, just as a beautiful sky is the absence of a storm. So don't believe in the false need, no matter how long or loud it howls. You will escape a delusion that wrecks millions. Read this item dozens of times. 89. 4 falsehoods. The devil's very nature is a lie, so that is all he can express. Here are 4 of his favourite falsehoods by which he destroys foolish believers. A. You are safe by remaining as you are. B. Concealed greed is popular and therefore acceptable. C. Feel morally superior to others and never mind where you got that idea. D. You can attack other people as viciously as you wish, as long as you hate in the name of God. 90. Depression explained. Imagine a lost hiker in the thick woods who seeks a way across a deep canyon just ahead. At various moments he catches brief glimpses of a strong bridge ahead, but in his panic he forgets it. Depression occurs when you temporarily forget what you glimpsed for sure, the bridge of truth. Depression over anything is impossible to anyone who has crossed over to the new world. See the bridge, remember the bridge, cross over the bridge. 91. Right hope. Beware of anyone with a sneering attitude toward life. He is nothing but a dangerous machine. While pretending to be pleasant and respectful, he silently ridicules any noble thought that is above his ability to understand. His hardness is his hopelessness, for he sarcastically refuses to see the harm he has done. There is hope only for the truly remorseful individual who looks at his past cruelties and gasps in shock, "What have I done?" 92. Shocking idea. Self-treason. Pause and ponder that idea. Self-treason. Think you might be betraying yourself? Self-treason means to seek empty goals in life while believing you are serving your true needs. What earthly goals do you now possess? Marriage? Financial ease? Excitements? Honestly now, are you still scared and lonely, working hard to convince yourself that all is well? If so, let this shock you awake, which will replace self-treason with self-ease. 93. Valuable views. Those who want to see will be generously rewarded by a superb spiritual law. A lower glimpse into hell will be equalled by a higher glimpse into heaven. It is like peering through a powerful telescope, seeing the same distance down into the dark valley as you see up the sunny mountain. So a calm study of hellish human ways is essential to personal rescue. But to avoid self-righteousness, you must look at hell first. Heaven follows. 94. 2 questions. Use this exercise to turn on the inner light. As you go through your day, interrupt your thoughts to ask yourself, what is my negative state right now? Name what you observe, perhaps anger, worry, gloom, envy. Next, ask yourself, is anger harmful or healthy for me? Reply, of course, that it is harmful. Faithful practice will finally reveal a wonder that few humans ever see. A new life exists far above the daily experiencing of pain and conflict. 95. New owner. Imagine yourself living in a home which you believe is owned by a hostile neighbour. He charges high rent, intrudes into your privacy, and is generally obnoxious. One day you discover some secret documents in the home which prove that you are its real owner. You order the neighbour out of your life, which he is forced to obey. With these studies, you are collecting the documents which will enable you to own your own life. 96. Sick humans. Still think people are nice? Just wait until you finish seeing the entire horror show. Men and women are depraved beyond description. Example, the devilish degenerate who tries to escape his self-caused trouble by deliberately trying to get someone else into trouble. Think it happens rarely? This sick act occurs millions of times daily, unseen by its victims. Hypocrites don't like an exposure like this, not because it is shocking, but because it is true. 97. Hideous crime. When deciding to seek the higher life, you arouse the enmity of human devils. They want you to stay as miserable and defeated as they are. Having no goodness, they will commit any mental crime to stop your spiritual progress. One such hideous crime is to accuse you of being foolish and disloyal for leaving their sick ways. A demonic man tries to make you feel guilty for his evil. Don't. Keep your young love alive. 98. Healthy acts. You must admit wrongness in yourself while remembering that it is not your real nature. It is essential to perform both of these acts at the same time. This double act helps you to see that no person is either good or bad in himself, that only God is good. It is like observing your former personal diary floating down a river. You can see it, but also realise that it has no present connection with you. In these few sentences, you will find everything necessary for newness. 99. Smooth sailing. Suggestibility is like a wind at sea that blows your ship of life into stormy seas. Someone lightly comments that your behaviour is sometimes silly, and you sail away into resentment. Someone suggests that you're a chatterbox, and you sink into shame. Suggestibility is a weakness that operates in the absence of spiritual judgment. It fades away in the light of insight, leaving your ship under your command. 100. New direction. Up to now, you have written your own life story containing many chapters you would like to forget. But just as an author of a novel can change the direction of his story any time he likes, so can you. There is no need to continue to do what you always do or to pay what you always dreadfully pay. You can write a new life story that grows more fascinating each day. And just as an author knows what his book is all about, you will know what your life is all about.